Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to another Japan Diaries video. My husband Matt and I are currently living in Japan for 6 months. We've been here for just over 2 months already, which is crazy to me. We're currently in Tokyo and it is definitely starting to warm up here. It's 30 degrees today and we've decided we're going to go to Shinjuku Park for the day and catch up on a little bit of work. There's actually a Starbucks in the middle of the park which has a really lovely view from it, so we might do a little bit of work from there, but I think we'll also bring a picnic blanket and then just have a picnic out in the park and do a bit of work outside in the sunshine because it is such a beautiful day. And there's something about Shinjuku Park. It is such a beautiful park to go to, so I just wanted to bring the camera with me so I can document just how amazing it is. I also noticed the other day that there is a Tokyo Hands shop in Shinjuku, which I've never been to before, and Tokyo Hands is one of my favorite shops to visit while in Japan, and so I thought I would maybe go pop in there once I've finished all my work for the day and bring you with me as well because I want to show you just how amazing this shop is. So just a slight unpopular opinion, but Shinjuku is actually one of my least favourite suburbs of Tokyo. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely a vibe at night with all of the bright lights, and I do believe a trip to Japan isn't complete without visiting Shinjuku, but it's just, for me personally, it's just a little bit too overwhelming. But in saying that though, Shinjuku Park is somewhere I just keep coming back to. It does cost 500 yen to enter the park, and I personally think it's worth every penny, as you could easily spend all day wandering this park. We decided to make a beeline straight for the Starbucks and just look at this view. This is why I love working here. After a few hours of work in Starbucks, we decided to head outside and both worked in the fresh air until our laptops went completely flat. I just feel so lucky to be able to work on my laptop from literally anywhere, and definitely felt very grateful for working from the park that day. After my laptop died, I wandered on over to the most beautiful rose garden that's also in the park. It was just such a pretty surprise, and if you didn't already figure it out, roses are one of my favourite flowers. My brand name Rosery with an E actually means garden or bed of roses. So to find this beautiful rose garden when I was feeling just so grateful to have a business and a job that I love working on so much, and without which I would not be able to live in Japan, was just a really nice full circle moment. I then decided to leave the park and head on over to the Shinjuku Tokyo Hands, and honestly, it was really disappointing. It didn't help that they were doing maintenance work at the time, but they don't have a fabric section like the Shibuya one, so automatically it was just not as good in my opinion. And there's also just something about the layout of the Shibuya store that's slightly chaotic and a bit maze-like that I just really love. And I personally think if you're going to visit a Tokyo Hands store, then the Shibuya one is the one you should go to. it is now the next day, and honestly yesterday was just such a beautiful day. The weather was actually perfect, and now today it's raining, so I'm so glad we went when we did. But I thought I would continue on filming today because I thought it'd be good to show you like what an average day in my life looks like here in Japan. Basically, I'd say maybe 80% of my days look like this. So far today, I have gone for a run. I've started running while here in Japan, which I never thought I'd say that. I'm someone that needs to exercise, and as soon as I stop exercising, my mental health just plummets so quickly. And I've only recently realized that in the last year or so. So finding like a regular exercise routine was a real priority for me while we're here in Japan. And it just so happens that the park that's right near where we live has this like 1 kilometer loop track. And so I just do a few laps of that. I've gotten to the stage where I can now run 5 laps, which I'm so proud of. I never thought I'd be able to run 5K ever again in my life. I used to run when I was like in my early 20s, but I've never really enjoyed it, but I'm actually starting to get into the swing of it. And so today I'm going to try and get a fair bit of editing done. We're leaving Tokyo next week, which I'm so sad about. Like, I love this city so much, but I am very excited to explore new places as well. But I do want to get quite a few videos kind of as close to finished as possible before we go, because we're taking like a good 2 weeks or so to just kind of explore places, like only staying 1 night in each spot. So it's kind of like a mini holiday in the middle of our big 6-month trip, and I don't really want to have to edit while I'm exploring all these new places, so I'm going to try and get as much video editing done as possible today as I can. Matt also needs to get a bit of work done today, so he's actually gone to a cafe for most of today, and I'm going to meet up with him at a really cool little gallery exhibition space later, which I'll explain more in a bit, but first I need to get some editing done. Okay, so I've been editing away for the last 2 and a bit hours, and I'm so close to finishing my Napori fabric shopping video, and I'm so proud of it so far. Hopefully you will have seen it by now, and I hope you enjoyed it. But I'm actually getting pretty hungry, so I'm gonna go and just walk to the konbini for lunch. The konbinis here are just incredible. Like, we're trying to like work our way through and try a little bit of everything they offer, which is impossible because there's hundreds of different food items to choose from. So it's now 2:30 and I'm gonna go and head off to this gallery space in a second. This little exhibition space is called Tokyo Pixel, and one of my lovely viewers let me know about it in I think it was my moving to Japan video. Basically, in that video, I shared about my cross stitch project for the first time and shared the inspiration behind it, which was this book cover that had a whole heap of micro cross stitches on the front cover, and it was very Japanese, like it even had some Japanese writing on it as well. I didn't think much of it. I just thought it was a really cool book cover that looked like it was from the 80s or something, so I'd never be able to find anything quite like it. But apparently the cross stitch artist and author of that book has a gallery space in Tokyo, and it's called Tokyo Pixel, which I'm going to today. I'm really hoping that that actual book is for sale because I would love to purchase a copy. I'm not getting my hopes up though because I haven't seen anywhere on their online store that it's available. So either way, we thought it would be a really cool place to go check out and check out the artwork that's on display there at the moment as well. So yeah, let's go catch a train. Hopefully I don't get lost because I think I have to make at least 2 transfers to get there and it takes about an hour. But yeah, let's get going and hopefully I'll be able to film a little bit for you. It was then sadly time to say goodbye to Tokyo, and we were so lucky to get a really good view of Mount Fuji from the Shinkansen that day. Our next stop was a little port town called Onomichi to do something that has been on our bucket list for literally ever, the Shimanami Kaido. The Shimanami Kaido is a 70-kilometer cycle along multiple different bridges that connect a bunch of different islands across the Seto Inland Sea. It was hands down one of the best and hardest things I have ever done in my life, but the views were absolutely breathtaking the whole way along, and even though my body was aching by the end of the day, it was 100% worth it. We actually decided to break up the cycle over 2 days and stayed in this really cute dome tent at the halfway point. It was just so cozy and had an amazing barbecue dinner included where all of the produce was sourced from the local area. It was one of the best experiences we've had in Japan and exactly the sort of relaxation that was needed after a huge day of cycling. And now I think I will just leave you with the beautiful scenes of the next morning. Dreamy doesn't even begin to describe how amazing it was.